Well, folks, how you doing? It is Monday, and we are going to do another kit review. So today we're going to talk about a 1/35 scale Willys MB, which is the kit's by a company called TAKOM or TAKOM. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce their name. I'll figure that out later. TAKOM. Yeah. I'm yawning. I should just love these unprofessional videos. Here's the kit. This is a super detailed model kit, and you know, I've just recently heard about these guys, and I know that they're coming out with a series of these Jeeps. So this one here comes with a trailer, and they're going to have an up armored one. Who knows what other versions are going to have, probably with a soft top, maybe some that are used by the Navy or the Army Air Corps, you know, where they had them all checkered up and everything. So there was quite a few different variants out there during the war. And of course the GIs had, you know, did some field mods to their vehicles as well. So anyhow, let's get the camera flipped around. I have a little contraption up here, so hopefully I can just come straight down on it and then walk you through what's inside the box. Okay? Right off the bat, as with any good quality kit, you have really nice box art suitable for framing. Okay, and I really like to keep my box art if I can, and try not to destroy this. This kit was a gift for the holidays for me. From a dear friend. So yeah, TAKOM 1/35 scale, kit number 2126. U.S. Army quarter-ton utility truck with quarter-ton utility trailer and MP figure, aka the Willys MB. All right, or a Ford GPW. But looking at the kit, we'll look at some greater details here to see which version that we're talking about. But it looks nice. Okay, it's well presented. All the parts are shown here. Just some different imagery of the vehicle. Okay. All right, we'll set this aside. So what we have here is the instruction booklet. Very nicely laid out. Good durable glossy material. And there's some really nice line artwork on here, which you could probably frame that if you wanted to. All right, got some cautionary statements in here, how to apply the decals, painting the vehicle. There's a list of required paints there if you want to follow what the model is telling you to do. And just a couple of other basic tips on removing parts and being careful. Now there's some very delicate parts in this model. I'm here to tell you. So nice layout here of all the parts that come with the kit. So go ahead and do a quick inventory of your parts to make sure that you have them all, and just do a good inspection. Okay. Now the kit's laid out just like any other type of automotive kit. You're going to start with the framework, and you're going to build that up and work on the engine assembly and get the engine, transmission, transfer case and everything installed until you get a rolling chassis. From that point, you start working on the body tub and all the other little minor details and components that go into it to come up with the fully assembled Jeep. All right, so we're not going to spend too much time on the not the decals but the instructions, but I'll show you some interesting details in the kit when I show you the parts. All right, so instructions are very clear to the point where you don't need language telling you what to do, so it doesn't matter what language you speak. If you can see pictures and follow directions, you're going to be just fine. All right, the trailer is a kit all by itself, and it is depicted here. And then of course you have your different configurations with different star options, invasion stars, different hood numbers, so you choose. Now when I build this, it's going to replicate the Jeep that I built, and it'll have my markings on it. But you have different options here, okay? Included is the paint scheme for the figure that comes with it. That's something that I really need to improve my skills on, is how to paint figures. Okay, real nice instructions, and of course they're going to do a little advertising in here of some of the other models that they work on, and that's it. So very nice. All right, I'm going to put a white board down here so you can see the parts a little bit better, and we will start with the trailer. This is your Bantam trailer, and you can see here that it's got the A-frame pieces, leaf springs with leaf spring mounts. Also has individual shocks, okay? The Lynette eye, parking brake, trailer brake. You got your solid axle here. You have your hub sections along with brake backing plates, which are completely detailed with brake eccentrics and adjustments on the back, which is awesome. You don't even see that in the larger scale kits. Looks like we have two different types of trailer stands here. We'll look and see what those options are. We've got the fenders, the front and the back. Here's the front, here's the back, and the two side panels and the bed. And of course you have combat rims, which are very well molded with all of the nuts and bolts that are in there, okay? Even the undercarriage of the trailer is represented as far as the framework is concerned, and the relief bends in the sheet metal that's on the real thing. So very nice. The sprue, letter D, has a lot of your miscellaneous parts and components for finishing off the kit. You have a front clip, your hood, your cowling. Here's the dash that mounts to the cowling, your windshield frame. Here's the rifle carrier. Let me flip this over. All right, so this is really nice. If you look at right here, this is the spare tire carrier that's on the vehicle, and it's very well molded. Obviously, the mold process comes in through the front now and pulls out, as well as separates in half in this direction. So it allows companies to come up with a much more detail when it comes to these kits. But this thing is just super detailed. And the reason I say that is, we have our pivot points here, right? These are our headlight mounts, okay? They go from here to the fender. Even though the headlights are represented on the radiator and the cowling and everything, those things will all line up, and it'll pretty much be transparent to you as you see them through the grill, okay? You've got a grease gun here, which mounts to the inside of the hood. You have right here is the fire extinguisher, the Pyrene fire extinguisher that goes on the inside of the tub. Side view mirror, okay? Steering linkage, all right? You got your Ross steering gearbox right here. Included with that is a complete steering linkage system, inner and outer tie rod ends. You have a bell crank right here, all right? Which the inner tie rod ends both double up on that single portion of the bell crank. All right, you've got your drag link from here to here. And so it's just, they didn't miss any details. A real nice copy of a Willard battery. The top of the radiator to include the two-part radiator hose, which these two are rubber, and you got the metal piece in here, and the clamps are even molded on there, which is pretty awesome. All right, we got a skid plate that goes underneath. Just like the real one, the exhaust system runs to the top of that plate and is bolted to that plate for security. And yeah, we've got our high-low gear, in and out four-wheel drive shift knobs, our standard shifter right there. Everything here is pretty well taken care of. This right here, you'll notice that the windshield frame is just the outer frame. And the reason that is because they've molded in clear plastic the inner frame that goes in here, which allows you to position the windshield up or closed, along with the support rods that go on either side of this to support that inner windshield frame. And those are part of the photo etch piece that they have in the kit. Okay, this is the back of the Jeep, right? You got your left and right marker lights. Your reflectors are molded in here, and the locations for your spare tire mount and your jerry can are right here, along with the jerry can. This is interesting. This little strap, this little hook right here is part of the jerry can strapping system. So it's going to be interesting to see if we have any type of strap material to go with this. But I'm going to explain to you why they molded this piece separately in just a second. When you flip it over and you look to the inside, all the crossmember supports and everything are there, just like on the real Jeep. Now, why do I know this? Because I actually built one of these vehicles, a real one, from the ground up. The mounting location is right here and here for the grease gun. You have, check out the hinge work on this hood. Now this is 1/35th scale, mind you, and they took the time to even get the hinges in place. Lube order chart molded into the hood right here, okay? Very nice. On sprue A, we have a lot of the engine components represented here, to include the jerry can that mounts to the rear of the vehicle, and they're just pinned, so that'll fit on without a problem. Got individual handles and jerry can caps. Okay, the only thing I don't like about this kit so far that I'm seeing is the fact that the top bows here, here, and here are in 3 pieces. Now maybe it'll, you know, as later on as I build this and discover that that it goes together very well, I won't complain about it. But for now, yeah, I'm a little skittish about the fact that it's a 3-piece unit for a top bow. Okay, grab handles. We got a corner grab handles and the side grab handles here. Pintle hook. Check out this right here, ignition coil. All right, this right here, that's your air pump that goes underneath the passenger seat in the back. The L134 engine block is super detailed, okay, to the point that the port for the oil pump, which is right here, and the distributor, and right here for the dipstick tube are, boom, you can see right into them. Boy, that just leaves a lot of opportunities for anybody that wants to try and do any detail work, okay? You've got your intake manifold right here. Spark plugs are represented there. You have your, okay, here's your main pulley system. You've got your horn, your Spartan horn. We've got our generator components here. We have our dipstick tube there. Just a, you know, intake manifold, Carter, WO carburetor right there, very nice shape. Okay, transmission, your T84 transmission. You have your oil filter, which is located here. That's the canister for that. So you can see it, they just really covered down on a lot of stuff, which is awesome. Parking brake drum, okay, transfer case, the Ma Deuce, the 50 caliber, which mounts to this M31C mount. Very well detailed and crafted. Here's your air cleaner with crossover tube going to the carburetor. That's the carburetor horn right there. All right, here's the front of the motor with the timing cover. The bell housing. Your starter mounts right there. I mean, the fact that they took the time to mold into the bell housing where the starter goes and the bushing is incredible. All right, so you have that to do to work with. A nice fan blade. So yeah, this kit is just really awesome. Here's the other half of the Ma Deuce. Obviously the top is removable, which normally you see these things as a solid unit, so that's going to be really interesting to get all that detail out of that. So of course we have our shovel and our axe right here. Check out this right here. These are the hold downs for the hood and for the windshield. These will mount to the hood. Here's another set right here. All right, this right here, that mounts behind the passenger seat in the rear. This is your hand crank to crank over the engine. And what's really going to be interesting is to take this and see if it actually fits through that hole on this cross member, because this is the front cross member for the Jeep. I'm just totally blown away by the detail that's in this kit. Sprue C. All of your combat rims, all right, including your spare wheel, is located here. And they definitely got the hubs correct for the front and the rear, which is nice. And so you have your, I don't have my, can't tell right now if those things are scalloped or not, but the type of hubs that are on there, along with the dust caps, are present to include all of the nuts and bolts, or excuse me, the bolt heads for the split rims that go inside there. All right. Now, one of the details that I've noticed right away when I took a look at this earlier was the backing plates right here for the brakes. If you notice a pin here, here, and the two in the bottom, those are your eccentrics, okay? You use those to adjust the brake shoes that are behind these plates. And there's a certain setting for those things when you make your brake adjustments. But the fact that they took a detail like this, put it into a model that is this small, and you're probably not even going to see it when it's on display, is a testament to how much this company cares about accuracy, okay? Same thing with the axles. I mean, the axles just look awesome. The shocks actually have holes through where the shock bushings are for mounting purposes. We've got crash pads here. The seats, accurately molded, all right? They look great. They have individual seat pads here. And what's nice about this one here, although there's some design issues here with this particular plate, gives you access to the fuel tank. All right, look at that. You can see the fuel tank cap and the fuel sending unit, and the straps are even molded into the tank. And when I show you the tub, you'll see that there's a sump in the tub for this fuel tank to sit into. So you're going to be able to see the tank under the seat, all right, underneath the pad. So you can probably mold it however you want to do it when you build it. Put this thing in an up position, maybe take a troop strap and hold it back, which is what I do when I fuel it up. But the point is that they included details that you're not even going to see, which I think is awesome and leaves this kit wide open for all kinds of custom possibilities. Torque reaction spring right here, all right? This is on the front driver's side of the vehicle. Pretty well molded, looks great. This is your machine gun mount. This mounts to the framework, all right? In fact, the slots you see here will fit on the cross member of the vehicle. The differential covers, the pumpkins, are separate. I would have been shocked if I'd have saw some kind of gearing inside these rear ends. But you know what, though? They left it hollow enough that you could actually probably put something in there that looks like you got the rear end tore apart. So I love the fact that I had that option, okay? And we're gonna explore that when we build this particular model. All right, looks great. All right, let's look at the tub and the frame. And we'll start with the tub. All right, so the tub. What I liked about the fact that they put the back of the tub as a separate unit is for a couple of reasons. One, they have all the internal framework on the back side where the rear seat mounts, where the engine crank handle mounts, all those kinds of things. But it allows you to have open toolboxes back here, which on other kits, these are just simply molded over and it's a solid unit, right? So you have the option of having access to the toolboxes under here. And that'll take a little bit of finagling because the toolboxes on this particular sprue, they are molded in here. So a careful modeler would cut this out. And you can see where the hinge locations are and mount just this piece in here and then be able to have these doors open or closed. Okay? So, lots of options there. The only thing that I would have done differently on this particular tub is that I would have made these the footrest here a separate unit, okay? And the other thing that I don't see in the model kit is there's a shield that goes between this footrest and up to the back of the seat. Now that may be in the kit and I may have overlooked it, but that is an opportunity for something that's scratch built. Inside here you can see that they have this bus bar or junction block right here for the power supply. This will feed a potential radio system that would mount in this location. You can notice the sump right here for the fuel tank. And yeah, that looks great. Even the plates are molded, and the little bolt heads are in place where this transmission plate cover is to be removed, to including this little round one here, which is where your master cylinder is accessed, okay, to check your fluid levels. Your steering column goes through here, your accelerator pedal, okay, and your clutch and everything, that's all goes through those locations. Your mounts for your top bows are molded into the sides here, and they're pretty intricate. So we'll be careful when we build that. All right, looks good. Looks good. Now, something I don't know if the camera will pick this up, and it might not. But there's 3 sets of dimples right here going down the side. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the opposite side of that, right along this ridge line, is where your fire extinguisher goes, the Pyrene fire extinguisher. So it's very cool that they captured those screw heads. Okay, framework. Remember the machine gun mount? That goes right here. And they really did a good job on this particular frame. I gotta be careful, my hands are cold. So we've got our gussets, okay? We've got our body mounts in here, okay? This cross member, this is where the transmission mounts. They even went as far as to put the pivot tube, which goes between the frame and the transmission transfer case. This is where the brake and clutch linkage mounts up to. And so I'm interested to see if they actually have linkage that goes from here going into the bell housing. So if they do, I'm definitely going to highlight that when I build the kit. Motor mounts are in place. Mounts for the radiator are right there, okay? Super, super accurate. Same thing with the shock mounts, okay? They're located on top, and they have little pins for the shocks to mount to. And the gussets right here on the front end, you'll notice, you know, I don't know if you can see the light through there. That's exactly how the real Jeep is. So they did an awesome job on developing this setup right here. Okay. If you really want to get detailed and you start running the brake lines, you would feed a brake line right through that channel, okay, and then it would come out to the axle. We might even consider that when we build it. All right, so let's set that aside. Take a look at the your windshield options. This might be difficult to see. Let me see if I have something a little bit darker that I can show you. It's molded with and without windshield wipers. These are the inside frames, and you have your headlight lenses as well. So if you choose to go with the version without wipers, because most of the original older Jeeps, you might see a single manual wiper on there. And what they've done is they've given you the option to do just that. I think let's do this. This is better. All right. You can see the individual wiper blades here. So what I would do is I would put a single wiper blade, a manual blade, on the driver's side. These little hooks right here, these are the hooks that go for the troop straps that run between where the crash pads are on the hip of the vehicle, okay, up to the front. So if you were to put troop straps in, you got your loops. All right, and what you can see here, this piece and this piece, these are part of the adjustment arms, which mount to the side of the windshield, and basically when the windshield goes out, they're the arms that are supporting it. So they actually captured those as well in a photo etched part. So yeah, this looks really good. I'm pretty excited about this kit. Here is the, let's get this stuff out of the way. Here is the MP driver. All right, multiple pieces, very fine details. He does have a full-size head, which means the helmet's hollowed out like it should be. and so you can fit that helmet on his head in whatever position you want. And of course the neck is recessed into the collar here. So yeah, this is going to be a nice looking figure, and the instructions do a pretty fine job of showing you how things are colored as well. That's sprue E. Okay, here's your decal set. And you can see you have the options of military police, the damn Yankee, whatever there's, you know, another military police here. You have invasion stars, you got standard stars. It really depends. Look at that little MP decal for the guy's helmet. So you've got data plates right here. You have all of your gauges, okay, for in the vehicle. Bumper numbers, different hood numbers, whether you want to make a Marine Corps version or Army version. So they give you plenty of options here to work with, which is nice. So all in all, that's a pretty awesome kit. I'm really excited to get started on it, and I think when I do, because of the level of detail that's inside this thing, I might depict a scene of my own build experience of when the Jeep was in pieces. So we'll have a complete chassis, fully detailed out, okay? That's this little guy. It's going to be on a rolling chassis, and we're going to have this thing sort of semi-assembled and standing up on its end on some dollies as I'm working on the wiring and running fuel lines and doing things like that, to give it that in-process build look, diorama, right, of my shop. That's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm pretty happy with this model. I hope you like the review. And again, this is the TAKOM. You can see the light of the camera, but this is the TAKOM kit, 1/35 scale, and I think it's I don't know, it's in the $25 to $35 range. You have to go out there and look. But I really hope that these guys make a 1/6 scale version of this kit with this much detail, if not more. I do have other kits, Dragon for instance, that are 1/6 scale. They do not have the level of detail that this little teeny tiny 1/35 scale model does. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And visit us next time here at Watson's Wagons as we review another kit.